You know, if I learned one thing from my ex-girlfriend's mom, it's that I have the propensity to be doing everything wrong. Here I thought all these years Linda was talking about me as a house guest or a provider, but she was really talking about how I was playing the pentatonic scale. So we're talking about why you're playing the pentatonic scale wrong. I've got a lot of hot takes on this one. I've said some awful things about the pentatonic scale in the past. I want to bury the hatchet right now. But everybody learns it like this. A minor, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. You can listen, Linda, I can try to do it backwards too. I can do it backwards just as fast. I'm worthy of it, right? But there's something so unmusical about this. And this is interesting because it is a very guitar-specific thing that we're talking about, right? It's like the first thing that you learn, the first scale that you learn is probably either E minor pentatonic, right? Or A minor pentatonic as that shape. And there's nothing really inherently musical about it. Like other instruments don't learn it this way. So we're going to do a little simple change. We're going to do what I call the pentatonic diamond. That's going to make things so much easier. And you're finally going to make Linda proud. Her name is Linda. I didn't even change the name to protect the identity. What we're going to do is people's key of G. All right? So we're going to do a G major chord. You can play it open if you want. I'm just going to play maybe kind of like part of a bar chord or something like that, like bar the 3rd fret, ring finger, pinky, 5A, 5D, middle finger, 4G, pointer finger, 3B, all right? What I want to do is I want to go back and forth between basically G and E. Right? That was E minor pentatonic, G. And then that was B minor pentatonic, okay? So again, that was fast. I'm gonna do my best to slow this one down because I think this is a really, really important lesson. Real quick, the example that I just played, let's do it in traditional pentatonic speak, where it's like G major or G major to B minor. You know that sounds so well. I know you do. Right? It's just that ascending, descending shape that we all know so well. But once you start to do this, it's the same scale, but we're coming at it with a different shape that is going to change everything for you, all right? So let's do the 2 root notes that we're going to add minor pentatonic shape to, and then we'll talk a little bit about the differences between just full minor, natural minor scale, pentatonic minor as we go along. It's going to be a super fun video. Check it out. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to isolate the 7th fret on the A string with your ring finger, okay? Now this is an E note, okay? There are 5 notes in the E minor pentatonic scale that sound like this. Exactly if you're going to do this, or an octave lower this. Open 3, open 3, open 2. Again. Doing it this way is going to impact your playing forever, right? Slide. First thing we're going to do is we're going to slide into that E note. Now we're coming from a G major, which is why I like using the bar chord because my ring finger is already on the A string, and I can go right into it, right? G major chord. Okay? And then when I get there, I can start this little diamond shape. Which is the same as going like this. So what you're asking yourself right now is like, Sean, maybe Linda was right. That sounded exactly the same to me. Maybe you are doing everything wrong. You're a failure. You'll never make the family proud. But I think the sliding and the transitions that you can do is so much better when you start to come at it like this. Because once you do this little, even though I'm playing the same notes, it just sounds like that same old pentatonic shape that we all get so sick and tired of because it's kind of difficult to use practically in a musical manner, right? So again, listen to it, and I'll even start on the same note. So G. It doesn't sound bad. I'm even adding a little bit of, hammer-ons, but then when I add the slide, and it's like all of a sudden now there's so much more musicality going on because I'm doing what's really special about a guitar as an instrument is that you can slide into these notes and then add vibrato. I feel like doing this right here, and again, just practice, drill this. 7A, 5D, 7D, 9G, or 9D to 7G, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your pentatonic scale right there. And there's something about sliding into it that kind of makes you take that last note in the scale before you get to the octave. And it makes you want to kind of really just drag it out. Sounds so good. You know why it sounds good? Because this video is sponsored by Sweetwater and Gator Cables. Check this out. Volume all the way up. Noisy Strat, 5th position. Headliner series cables. Guys, I've done another video on this. This is the cable that you want for the rest of your life. This is the one cable that will make your girlfriend's mother believe that you are a professional, because this is the Headliner series. They have a bunch of other cables that are great. I'm a big fan of all the Gator stuff. Use their bags, use their stands and everything. But this cable is the one. Like, it has that silent release thing. I don't even know the science behind this. But look, it's like, oh, this isn't a live cable. What's going on? What's going on? I can even put it halfway in the jack. Usually that's a super bad noise. Once I'm in, I'm in. And then the pentatonic mastery happens, and then it silently stops. You don't have to worry about like popping the amp or whatever every time you're done with something. This thing is awesome. Thank you so much, Gator, for making this. Thank you to Sweetwater for sending it over, sponsoring the video. I have an affiliate link in my description. Everybody needs one of these. Look, I can mess around with it. If you're in the dark, if you've ever been on a stage and you've been trying to get a cable into an input jack in the dark, not as easy as it seems. Never again. Never again. Your mother-in-law will think you got it the first time, because until you finally get it, super silent. No noise to be had. I don't know. That's some black magic. That's amazing. Back to the pentatonic scale, right? Now we can do that shape, the pentatonic diamond. Is this a shape? Can you let me know in the comments if somebody's already called this a pentatonic diamond? It seems in my mind like I've made this up, but I'm sure it's like probably a more popular way to teach this. But I want to do this in all the minor chords in this key, right? So again, we're in the key of G, and we've been using the relative minor to do this so far. Let's do the other spots that this shape is going to work. It's actually pretty beautiful, and when you think of it as root note here, it's like, okay, just down a string, 4 frets higher, right? G to E, which is the same as going G, back 3 frets to open E. Major, relative minor. If you get that stretch in, that's how you know. That's how you can make somebody proud. Get that 4-note stretch in. But the cool thing about this is like we've demonstrated before, I can hit the chord and then do that little shape. Now, the next thing that we can do is we can do it on the 3 chord in the key, which is B, right? G, A, B. B is usually a minor key. You can play it here. You can play it here. Play like a minor 7 or something like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to go from here, and then we're going to do that same shape. Now again, I'm right next to it. It's just, see how I kind of lift my ring finger up, and then I go from the 5th fret to the 7th fret. And again, that specific lick that I'm doing right here most of the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the notes, right? So 1, 2. I'm sliding from 3 to 4. 5. So 1, 2, 4, 5. 3 to 4. 2 Any way you kind of, any way you want to mix and match them. Just really kind of explore that shape. There's a million different licks you can do with it, but the cool thing is the relative minor is literally just the same thing a string down. So B minor, if that's the lick, I can do the same thing on E. Alright, and then there's one more. A, the 2 chord in the key of G, the easiest one. Same thing. So we have 3 minor pentatonic scales. A, B, E. And that's going to bring us to talking about just the difference between the pentatonic scale and the natural minor scale. Okay, so we said that E is the relative minor of G. You can always find the relative minor by going to the 6th note away from the beginning, G, A, B, C, D, E. Or a lot of times it's easier just to go backwards 3 frets. G, F sharp, F, E, right? 2 ways to get to the same thing, all right? Check out my Patreon if you want more information on that. But if I were to use the full natural minor scale, I'd use all the notes in the key of G, basically all the notes, but instead of F natural, there's an F sharp. It would look like this. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, or 12, 14, 15, 12, 14, 15, 12, 14. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Instead of just E, G, A, B, D. So with E minor pentatonic, we're leaving out the F sharp and the C, which I love. I love the C note. I love the 4 chord in any key. We're just gonna leave it out. But what's nice about using the minor pentatonic scale for the other 2 minor chords, the 2 chord and the 3 chord. Hopefully this isn't too much information, but I think it is really important. When you play a 5-note scale starting on, let's say A for instance, right? We've got A, C, D, E, G. So that's where it fills in that C that we were missing from E minor pentatonic. That A minor pentatonic shape gives us our C. And then remember, there's one that we haven't talked about yet, the one that's not the natural note in the key of G. Right here, B. F sharp. So using the minor pentatonic position, scale, however you want to look at it, on the 2 and the 3 chord, fill in all the notes in the full major or minor scales that we're missing if we just do minor pentatonic runs the entire time. I hope that makes sense because there's so much that you can do with this. In fact, let's take it a next octave up. So if I don't want to go, if I want to create a little more separation, a little more distance between this G and like an A minor thing, or what I can do is I can go to the octave, right? And I can start the shape here on the octave A, which is the 7th fret of the G string. And then now all I have to do is I can do that same diamond shape, but I have to compensate for the B string. So now I've got 70, 5, 7, 9 on the G string. And then doing it this way lines my middle finger up with the right note. Instead of like that kind of, what I think, now that I've been playing forever, I find that this kind of root minor pentatonic shape is a little clunky to kind of get your hand where it's like your pointer fingers leading the way. It's a great way to maybe start and see it, but it's just so much musical to kind of go into the shape with the slide. And that's all minor pentatonic. And it's not just me, it's like when I see my favorite guitar players and I kind of see them jump into solos and maybe climb up and climb back, I definitely see them using this minor pentatonic shape instead of doing like this tricky, all right, I'm this position, and then now I gotta find a way to transfer into position 5, and and then I gotta transfer into, like, that's a very segmented, non-musical box shape approach to doing things, and I think it's so much better to kind of just do this little slippery kind of fun shape, right? Because we like to have fun. That's what it's all about. And how much fun are we having now that I can just unplug my guitar? I see. You know what's funny? I naturally, you may have caught that. I naturally roll the volume knob off before I unplug it, just because I'm an idiot and I'm so used to the inferior, lesser cables. I can have that baby full on, and then it just kills it. This thing is amazing. People are like, Sean, you just pitched another product for Sweetwater because they're the best. Yes, they are the best. You also get candy with this. But this is incredible. I love this thing. I love you guys. I forgive my ex-girlfriend's mother for how harsh she treated me all those years ago. And yeah, get yourself anything from Sweetwater. Please use my affiliate link because it helps me out a lot. I got some cool stuff coming out with them. Thanks for watching. And if you guys have any questions or comments, send me in the comment section. I'll talk to you all soon.